to go, mainly because we have became caregivers and the arrangements just couldn't be made so for us to leave. But if someone would have told me, well, I would have been in Oklahoma City 5 times in my lifetime, I think you're crazy. What's in Oklahoma? Mm-hmm. But the business gives us the opportunity of traveling and conversing with like-minded people. You know what I mean? Let me say at this point also, if and I was remiss in doing that, I met you about 4 years ago, I would say. Mm-hmm. And to see how you have evolved, young lady, brings joy to my heart.
Are you about to cry now?
To see to see how you have evolved, that little shy young lady that I met in the Chamber of Commerce that was starting her business, and that's how we got started. I think it was Legal Shield, or I think we were talking about, how to organize it and everything like that, and to see how Jeff have brought you in because he saw something in you. And I am so proud of what you're doing here. You're doing a tremendous job, and I'm going to make sure to get your autograph today because I know in a couple of years you're going to be unavailable. You're going to be moving up and out. So Amen. Congratulations Amen. To you. The Lord has been good. He really has been. Oh.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
I appreciate that kind words and that encouragement.
You needed it, and it's you have, and let me say this too. You were in business, and one of the things, the reason why you're here is because you were in business. You were out, okay? I encourage so many people today to get a plan B. A plan B meaning, yeah, you got a 9-to-5, and yes, that's what you've got to do. But what happens to you tomorrow if that young man or the boss tells you, hey, listen, things are down, we can't use you anymore? I think we have to almost be prepared for that. But in saying that also is I think we as individuals, we need exposure. I don't think you would be here today if you were just doing a 9-to-5. Mm-hmm. You had a small business. You did Leads Group. The Chamber of Commerce, I thought, was very instrumental in your growth. Mm-hmm. People saw you and everything like that. They saw the potential that you had. And somebody was kind enough to put you in place here, and you're flourishing. Whereby I think if you weren't out there to see, if you were just 9-to-5, go to job, go back home, it would not happen. So even if you've got a 9-to-5, I would encourage you to get involved with something outside of what you're doing on a normal basis. Mm-hmm. It's amazing the fellowship that you can have with different, some different people that are out there in the community. And a shout out to the Chamber of Commerce. Chambers of Commerce are tremendous, And I think one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have about the chambers, it doesn't happen fast enough, because when you first go in there, trust me, it was very uncomfortable. I'm not going to tell you the truth.
That's true.
But they test you. You got to stick and stay. And I must tell you, some of the best business people I've met is in the chamber. My wife, she's an ambassador now with the Cocoa Beach Chamber. She hasn't been able to go out as much as she have been. But I tell you what, very passionate about it. And again, a shout out to Cheryl. I mean, Cheryl has done a fantastic job. But people that are out there, I'd encourage you to go out and do something. I mean, there's enough network marketing groups that are out there. Get involved with something. There's something out there. And the tax ramifications behind it, too, is tremendous, guys. Tremendous tax ramifications behind joining a company outside of that 9-to-5, okay? A 9-to-5 is going to give you that W-2, that networking job, or the Plan B is going to give you a 1099. Mm-hmm. And it makes a big difference. And I'm sure Opal will have somebody with the tax advice come on and tell you about that. But I would encourage everybody to go out and do something. Have a Plan B. That being into a network marketing, I mean, very low cost to get started. If you want to go and do a brick and mortar, that's fine. I just somewhat discourage that. But network marketing, I'm definitely sold on, so to speak.
So tell our listeners how to get in touch with you if they need to hear more or.
Well, again, it's John Perry. I work the business with my wife, Laverne. Both numbers, my numbers are 321-750-8800. Again, my wife is Laverne, Cecilia Laverne Perry. Her number is 321-960-5089. Okay? Also, you can find us on the web also. We have a website. It's legalshield.com/hub/ J Perry at 15. J Perry 15.
Well, thank you very much. I'm just really excited that you came on today. I'm excited that you not only shared what you do as a business owner, but as well as what you're doing in the community. Because, see, that's important.
Right.
Am I right?
That is very important. I've been a member of Palm Bay United Methodist down there in Palm Bay for the last 35 years. Very much involved with them. As a matter of fact, there are, different months I'm the church leader, so to speak.
Okay.
I took up this banner about 2 years ago. Even though I'm 61, at the age of 16, I thought I had the calling. And at the time, I was in New York. And it was at the time that you had the Superflies and the Mac Daddies and all that. And it was reflected in the church. The ministers really was not, doing what they needed to do. And I walked away from that. But I thought I was still a disciple of God, though. In the street, evangelizing, advising people and all that. Now I'm back in the church, and it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. It's and living day to day, and I tell you, he manifests himself almost on a daily basis for me. I could tell you, I walk with him on a daily basis. He made a pact with me a few years ago. He says, John, if you get up in the morning, you take the first step, I'm going to help you with the rest. And he's lived up to his bargain to this point. Other community things right now, I'm very passionate about mentoring young people. A few years ago, I did a summer camp. I did cooking for a summer camp, and I got so much out of that. I mean, just to mentor a lot of young people was just tremendous. And I know some offers have been coming in about, starting something up again here in Brevard, and I'm hoping to be, involved with that. But young people today definitely need a lot of mentoring, and I think we all have a responsibility. You know what I mean? One of the biggest areas that I don't think enough attention is being paid to is the foster children program. There's so many kids now being, aged out, meaning when you become 18, you have to, start doing something for yourself. And I think that segment of our population is being left behind to a certain degree. I think it definitely needs a tremendous amount of attention. Not necessarily tax dollars or whatever, but I just think there's a thing about citizenry that I think needs to be enacted in this country again. I think we as citizens got to can't just wait for that handout to come. I don't think that handout in a lot of ways are good. I think most people just need a hand up. And I think we as citizens, particularly people that are in business and all that, years ago I used to see apprenticeship. We don't even have apprenticeship anymore, whereby a young kid could go into a shop or a mechanic shop or whatever and learn that trade. You don't see that too much anymore. You know what I mean? We don't even. I don't even hear people talk about a trade school anymore. You know what I mean? Years ago, I know a lot of the small business owners used to take their children in, and the children. I know my kids. When my kids were born, I had a seafood market. They grew up in that seafood market. They learned to answer the phone. They learned to interact with customers. They learned to make change. Okay, how many kids really have that opportunity? So one of the benefits again is in going into a network marketing or starting any kind of business is having the opportunity to even mentor your own kids. I can't begin to tell you the residual effect of a child in the home seeing you dress up to go to a meeting, or listening to grandma on the phone with a fellow associate, talking to him and coaching him. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Well, I always believe that whatever we learned,
right,
the things that we encountered in our life is not just for us.
Right. Exactly.
It is to give back.
It is to give back.
It is to find a way how we can impact our community.
Yes.
And make that change. So what do you think people can do to help in our community?
Well, and you just hit it on the head right now. At 61, more years behind me than in front of me. One of the things that I've told my wife and I've told my children, and it's one of my mottos that I go by now. I want to leave this earth an empty vessel. Okay? One of the richest places on earth right now is the graveyard, because we don't empty it to our young children. We don't mentor, and here in the state of Florida particularly, I go around and I talk to a lot of people that are retired and all that. And a lot of them don't want to go out and organize anything or whatever, but they have a lot of knowledge. They have a lot of knowledge. And if you can just arrange that meeting, so to speak, be that middleman, okay, whether it be in the church or organizations and all that, and it's stimulating for both, okay? Because I will tell you, I've been on the pulpit and I preach about this. There is so much that we as adults could gain from those young children also. We're living in a society today that is technologically moving at the speed of light. And some of the things the young people are picking up are much faster than we are. And we could learn from them.
Why do you think we don't?
We don't pick it up?
Yeah.
I think we're still set in our ways, so to speak. We don't understand the thing about paradigm shifts. You know what I mean? It's just like I sell insurance. And, people that were responsible years ago, they went out and got insurance, one or the other, term or whole life. Well, there's new insurance that's out there now. Did you go out and you find out about it? There's insurance now that has living benefits attached to it. But some people have this closed-minded, I got it. That's what I've gotten. That's where I'm going to stay. Well, no, we're living in a different age. How many of you still have beepers? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's smartphones now. You know what I mean? You have to change with the time.
Right.
Are you still going down to FP&L and paying your bill, or are you paying it online? You know what I mean? So you have to change with the time, so to speak. Why we don't do it? It's we got to be pushed. If you get in, you got to get out of your comfort zone. I think why you have evolved yourself is because you had to get out of that comfort zone, and I think most of us have to do that. Okay,
yeah.
In order to thrive. Really
and I think getting out of the comfort zone is meaning being willing to change.
Yes, you have to change.
You have to change your mindset.
You have to.
You have to change. Even I had to change association.
Exactly.
In order to move ahead in the business. I can't hang with my girls and chill out and do what we were doing. I had to get a business mindset. So I had to come around people that had the same mindset and that had the same the knowledge. If I didn't have it, I knew enough to talk to John and say, "Hey, John, what you think about?" Because I'm pulling on you and Laverne all the time. Hey, why y'all doing? What you doing? What you doing? What should I do? So I think the thing of it is having that willingness to change, having that heart to say, "Hey, even if I know this, I don't know that."
Right.
So how can I get to knowing that so I can continue to know whatever? Do you agree?
I definitely agree. I mean, it's just like when I got started here with Legal Shield again, and the connection is so profound. High school I did very well in, went to college, did very well in, did the mandatory things that were necessary, but I was never a reader. Here at 61, I'm a reader, only because as being a reader now, I can explore, a guy that has lived it before. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. So now that I am an expanded, John Maxwell is one of my favorites. Jim Rome, Now, seeing that we have found this out, if we could just translate that to kids now, it seems like the smartphone and texting and YouTube and everything like that, the social media is the wave now. We've got to try and get them back to books, to read, to experience different things. Okay? Yeah. Reading, in my opinion, is the foundation. We've got to encourage more children to do more reading. And like you said, association is so important.
That's true. So
important. I think, you yourself, I know me, in order for me to grow, I had to let go of some of those things. People, some of my best friends that I used to have our conversation with, it's 5 minutes now. Because it is a fact that you become a product of the 5 people you hang out with. It really is, and it's so true. The 5 people, just think about it now. You go out and you really sit down and think about it. The 5 people that you hang out with, that's the characteristics that you yourself have. So if you want a different kind of characteristics, you got to hang out with some different people. You know what I mean? You got to have that mindset. If you want to become a business person, you got to hang out with business people. You know what I mean? Think about where you're at right now. Did you ever think that 10 years ago that you'd be right here? No. And sky's the limit now. You're not just want to stay in Merritt Island. You're thinking about the world.
Yeah.
It's out there because it's out there. We don't live in years ago we used to live in this village mentality, village thing. I'm just in Merritt Island. This